this phase of Germany's total war, no tribute is too high or too often repeated for the men and machines of the Allied Air Forces. Here is the Royal Air Force on the airfields of northern France, and they're preparing a few more hot ones for Jerry. 2 more into the bag, and next time it's opened, there'll be a nasty mess somewhere. Young pilots map the course for their next raid to make sure they'll only be attacking military objectives, and that's something the Boche never even bothers to do. So once again, the heavy bombers of Britain are heading towards Germany. A few seconds later, another squadron of bombers returns to bring back stories of oil tanks ablaze, enemy airfields pockmarked with bomb craters, German mechanized units blasted off the roads. Men of the Royal Air Force, we salute you.
They're in the cockpits of their Spitfires and Hurricanes before you can say Bob's your uncle. There's a job of work for these pilots, and boy do they love their work. Way up in the sky, there are Messerschmitts, Junkers, Heinkels, or Dorniers that are going to get the thrashing of their lives. Here they come, Jerry, you rotten swastinkers, you. What more inspiring incentive to young Britons to become members of air crews than these close-ups of men with wings? By their epic deeds, they're swinging the Battle of Britain into the Battle of Germany. The day's toll ends in the victory roll. During the past 2 months, RAF victories have meant that the Germans have lost 1 plane every 42 minutes. How's that, Mr. Goebbels? But, as the nasty pilot said when he crashed, perhaps I shouldn't have brought this up.
We pay a tribute to the Royal Air Force, which in this greatest battle of history is covering itself with glory. In continuous dogfights with the enemy, the old generation is leading the new in the struggle to save civilization as we know it. And the sting of our fighters is bringing down plane after enemy plane. Here are the latest pictures of the air war, which tell their own story of our supremacy. Fuselage is made into a sieve. Every one of those holes is an Allied bullet. Every German crash is another victory of courage over force. In the first fortnight of the mighty battle, the Allies have shot down nearly 2,000 Nazi planes. There lies our hope of ultimate victory. And here too is a tribute to our comrades of the French Air Force. The deadliness of their firepower is also written in German wreckage on the fields of France. The events of these days will go down in history as at the same time the darkest and brightest in our story. The pages written by the Royal Air Force yesterday, today, and tomorrow are the most stirring and most glorious of all.
In the aircraft graveyard of blasted Nazi hopes repose the corpses of warplanes which have met their RAF masters in the air. Though it first gives the impression of a scrap heap, this dumping ground is a veritable laboratory. At this depot, practically every type of German plane becomes a museum piece. Experts study closely the constructional designs and run the rule over them for gadgets and fundamental weaknesses. Every technical point and structural detail is carefully indexed. Emblems on the machines divulge information about squadrons employed. The technical staff of the RAF have evidence to show that the Luftwaffe planes are not good enough. And when this inspection is completed, metal from the wreckage which was Goering's is sent to be melted down for our own use.